let's do it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Life NPCs with another edition of Knerd Knowledge, this time about the Evil Within franchise, and I'm hosting it because Ehron beats me on a lot of things, especially Digimon, if you watched our last episode. But this one I happen to actually know stuff about that Ehron is yet to know. We're also this time joined by Dan and Courtney both.
Hi. Hello.
Courtney's actually going to be participating. Dan cannot because she knows about as much of these games as I do. So, some quick background for both of you because a little context is required if you're going to have even a hope of guessing this. The Evil Within game series takes place essentially in a digital construct.
So they're digital.
Well, you know, common thread.
Digital monsters.
Somehow everything is Digimon.
Everything really is back to Digimon. But it takes place in like an interlinked, like a bunch of people plugged their minds into one system. The first game takes place in a mental hospital. The second game, a little more regulated. I don't have to go into all the details, but keep in mind that everything that I'm about to show you, monster-wise, takes place in a psychological landscape, as it were. So that's a little tiny piece of information.
So
the
digital
first category
monsters meets the Matrix.
Sure. If that's the best way you can figure it out, that's the best way you can figure it out. So first up, we're going to do a category called It's Called What, where I'm going to show you a monster, give you a vague description of it, and what it does, and you guys are going to guess the name of it. And we're going to see how this goes. So first up, we have this friendly-looking fellow. He is a monster who utilizes that big thing he's holding is basically a flamethrower. That's really all the context you need for him.
Okay, can I ask, do the things in this franchise go along the idea of what they do is what they're called?
To a point.
To a point.
I picked all the name ones because they are not going to be like, this is Jim. It's more like, actually this guy's name's Liam, but that's besides the fact.
But now I know what he's
it's
called.
It's more like a title.
Okay, so I'm seeing this trench coat. I'm seeing this flamethrower shotgun thing.
It's really weird and it sucks to fight him, I'll tell you that. This is from Evil Within 2, by the way.
I'm almost getting some priest vibes from him.
Me too.
Wow, yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the priest.
You know,
The priest, alright.
I'm gonna double down on that one as well.
The priest, okay. If we're gonna keep score, I'm actually gonna give you guys half a point because this was created by a priest, but he's actually called the Harbinger. Next up, that thing. This one appears in the Evil Within the Evil Within DLC.
Pixar?
As a
Can you say that again?
No, I'm good.
Did you say is that the lamp from Pixar?
Yeah.
I'll show the guy who's boss.
This is the gritty Pixar reboot we've all been waiting for.
Oh my god.
This monster appears in Evil Within, the original game, in the DLC as a sort of relentless pursuer to the character you play in that. And it has a giant light on its head, as you can see. That's really all there is to it.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Illuminator.
I like that, the Illuminator. Okay.
Pretty solid game.
Pretty solid, yeah. Courtney, what about you?
I don't even know where to start with this.
It's a lot to look at. I forgot to mention this earlier, and I'm going to toss this out there now. There is, just for the viewers, I know you guys don't really care, there might be some spoilers for Evil Within and Evil Within 2 mixed in here because explaining some of these things is going to take some work around. So just a heads up. I mean, these games were 3+ years old even for the second one, so just be warned.
That's fair.
But anyway, Courtney, back to your guess. Sorry, I had to put the disclaimer in there real quick.
I really can't get the Pixar lamp out of my head. So I'm just gonna call this sexy leg lamp, the Rizzing.
I love that guess. Unfortunately, it's not nearly that interesting. It's called The Shade.
But it's casting lights.
I know. Oh no, I know. And I picked this one partially because it's kind of tricky, but also I just wanted to show that ridiculous design because it's very funny to me. But I do like Courtney's answer quite a bit, and the Pixar lamp thing is going to stay with me now forever. This thing, Now I need to point out, this thing is giant.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the electric pole.
That is a full-size electrical pole. This appears near the end of Evil Within 2, and it's basically thrown in your way as a pretty much an obstacle to prevent you from what you're trying to do at that point in the game.
The worst.
It is a nasty thing to fight, and it is very, very vicious.
First thought is it reminds me of Mangle from Five Nights.
That's not unfair at all. I see that.
And just because I can't get it out of my head, I know there's no way that it's right, but I'm gonna call it the Bros.
The Bros.
The Bros. All right. No, I really like that guess. That's great.
Bros before house.
Bros before us. All right, Courtney.
What's it called when? Oh my god.
When people are like conjoined twins.
Yeah, conjoined twins.
Conjoined twins.
Yeah, I'm gonna call this the conjoined twin abomination.
The conjoined twin abomination. All right, I like it. This one is the effigy.
Jesus.
I believe this is the last one in this category. We have this thing. I don't know if you guys. This thing basically appears as an obstacle of sorts. You never actually fight it, although I learned today that you can, and it sounds like the dumbest thing possible to do. But it pretty much is there as a guardian of sorts. I don't mind throwing that word in because it's obviously not correct.
Future Ehron, censor this. I'm gonna guess head.
Oh my god.
Future Ehron, censor this. It's supposed to be ectoplasm. Just gonna throw that out there.
Listen, that is just ghost.
I know.
Censor that too, Ehron.
Censor that too. Courtney, what do you think?
I call this the ecto screen.
I like that. I like Courtney's names she coming up with, and honestly, they're cooler than what they're actually called. This is the Watcher.
Why not the Searchlight be called the Watcher?
No one knows, because they got a lot more creative in the second one. And by creative, I mean more accurate. But that's the end of the naming category. I think you each ended up with half a point from that one.
I think so.
So, next we're going to go into what made that. This pretty lady right here.
That's a lot.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so
There's
I
a lot
have
to
to
look at.
ask something here. The creatures in this are based off of like created as in like a fear behind them, or like the person who created them, or
they were created by someone else. But I want kind of a description on what made them or what they represent. I'll take a few things on this one if you can get within the ballpark. But not so much the fear.
I'm seeing multiple heads.
Lots of heads. Yeah.
I'm seeing lots of arms.
Lots of arms, yeah. It's not fun to be picked up by that thing. It's quite gruesome, honestly.
And then there's this giant ass saw.
Yeah, it has a giant saw blade for a hand.
I'm sensing a fear of commitment. And I'm gonna call it the orgy.
Why?
The orgy? Why?
Because look at all those flailing limbs.
All right, so we've got created by a fear of commitment and called the orgy. All right, Courtney, what do you got?
I don't know why. This just screams like loss of pregnancy for some reason. And the sounds reminds me like an extremely gruesome, unwilling abortion. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Not even gonna guess the
dark
name.
in this.
Oh, you know, it's a dark game, so, okay, interesting. So what we have here is the Guardian.
Fantastic.
It is created out of the several, that should be bodies, not body, of a bunch of murdered women as the manifestation of an artist's insanity.
I can see that.
Next up, this thing.
This was made by a dentist.
I actually really like that. Oh my god.
This one's actually from Evil Within 1. Although actually, I'm going to throw out there, I like the dentist thing, but this was actually not made by a specific person.
Okay.
This was not created with intent. There is something else that led to this thing's creation.
It's not a dentist then.
It's not. I do like the dentist comment, and after I reveal this, I will tell you why it has the braces. It never came up in the game, but I read it on the wiki when I was making this, of why apparently it has the braces. That's kind of like, it lost the point in the game, but like was part of the original design inspiration, I guess.
Okay, so my guess is going to be that it is like an embodiment of just a soul who is hungry.
Hungry? Okay.
And I'm gonna name him Mr. Nom Nom.
Mr. Nom Nom. Alright. Courtney?
I think this has to represent young women that were thought to be like in hysteria, so they have that one like the drill to the brain thing.
Jesus, okay.
Courtney's
Look at
going
lobotomy.
super dark.
Honestly, Courtney's going darker than the game does, but I'm impressed.
You know,
like, also like a lobotomy. Maybe. Honestly, you probably improved the plot of the first one. The first one's rough. Second one, fantastic, and I love it, but the first one's kind of rough. Okay, do you have a name for this one, Courtney?
Not even kind of.
Alright. This is called Shikyo. This was created from the consciousness of someone that drowned within the STEM system, which is the online system.
Ooh, okay.
It essentially in the game acts like, you know in Amnesia where there's the splashy thing?
Yeah.
It functions a lot like that.
Exactly like that.
Exactly like that. Unfortunately, the first game had a lot of issues of also just kind of ripping off other things. Second one didn't do that so much, but the first one kind of did. This one, you do actually see it because it does, as a kill animation, jump out of the water and kill you. But that is that one. It's an interesting one.
The teeth. No, the teeth.
Oh, the teeth. Yes, sorry. The original design for this was the original inspiration of who died to create this was apparently supposed to be somebody with like terrible teeth who had braces and like a giant like headgear thing that kind of translated into the monster. But that sort of stopped being a thing in the game. This pretty lady. This one was created by a person. I will give that one.
Okay.
Well, whoever created her has the same nail stylist that helps Wolverine out, so...
She essentially acts as another sort of pursuer, though you can kill her.
She's got some serious, like, Predator vibes for me. Like,
No,
she
that's
was
fair.
specifically made for hunting.
Interesting.
Especially with, like, all that extra hair and loose bits.
She's a lot.
So I'm gonna say whoever made her was like a doctor who just wanted to be left alone in this system.
Okay.
Kind of like to protect himself or herself, you know?
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. Courtney?
You name for this?
Ooh.
Because I actually have a name for this.
Arachne.
Oh, wow.
Alright.
Oh, I like that. All right, Courtney, what do you got?
Alright, so this was created by a lady who was fucking sick of being catcalled, and this fucker takes down men specifically, and her name is the Black Widow.
Fantastic. All right. So this is Laura. She is spawned.
That's really
from Yeah, well, because she's based on a real person. She spawned from the memory of the STEM core, which is a person's dead sister. Ehron, I'm actually going to give you a point, though. Because... I'm going to go into more detail than the description does. The creator of the STEM, for one, the core, his name's Rubik, he is actually a doctor. And he created the STEM system basically to bring his sister back to life. And basically escape from the world and just live in this digital world with her. Once the STEM system goes into basically he goes psychotic and everything goes to hell, she becomes this. So I'm actually going to give you a point for that one because you were along the right track.
Yay!
So nicely done. Although Courtney, I do really like you, so it's very entertaining.
Thank you.
All right, I believe. Woo, did we skip something? Nope. Okay, this one. This is the final boss of Evil Within 2. It is constructed out of a similar material as the Watcher, as it was created by the same person. So that's kind of the tease on this one. This was, I'll give you a little more on this one. This was created by a specific person to represent a specific feeling or motivation.
I feel like at this point it's just one last attempt to get everything together before this whole system collapses. It's just like a final attempt.
Final attempt
to just get something out into the real world.
Okay.
And I'm gonna name it Yeti because it's white.
Yeti. All right. Courtney, what do you got?
God, those eyes.
Yeah. She's a
wait,
lot.
I want to withdraw my name and change it to Wendigo because it reminds me of a Wendigo now.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I looked into those eyes once Courtney said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those eyes are a lot.
Honestly, this just looks like someone dying of a plague.
Okay.
So maybe like the system's dying, so this is part of the plague. I
Interesting.
don't even have a name for this.
Okay.
So, like,
This is what?
I was gonna ask Courtney if she thought like it was like the sickness that is destroying the system.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought you were getting towards. Interesting. So this is called the matriarch. This is essentially the manifestation of a mother's protective instincts and desire to save her daughter. So this is where it's going to get spoilery. Heads up. In Evil Within 2, the man you're playing as, Sebastian, our friendly boy over here, he enters the STEM system for a second time to save his daughter, who has been put into the core, essentially running the system. His wife, Myra, also was put in unknowingly, willingly to save her. As the system begins to corrupt Myra, her motherly instincts turn a bit towards the dark, and the matriarch is eventually the kind of culmination of that. But I had a specific reason to give you each half a point, and I don't remember what it was now. But I'm going to give you each half a point. As we move into our last category, how are they going to kill me?
Fantastic.
Things in this category, you are going to be telling me what their abilities are, how they end you, essentially. It's pretty self-explanatory for this category.
Aaron's
and once again,
y'all can see it.
All right, once again, bonus points if you guys can guess the names. A GIF for this one, which I really hope is playing, because this is the best representation of her.
It is playing for us, yeah.
Excellent. Yes, so how is this thing going to kill you?
This thing grabs you by the neck and sucks your soul out, and I'm calling it a banshee.
Good.
Guess Courtney, then I'll tell you a fun fact about her.
I feel like she's like a void of some sort, and she just like, as soon as she gets you, you're just inhaled into this darkness very quickly.
Swallow.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Before I go on to reveal this, I actually got the game on PS4 now that I've been playing today. And she sings in proximity to you. I wish I had the sound. Eerie as hell. But it actually plays over the PS4 speaker on the controller, and it's terrifying.
I hate when games do that.
And she'll also just be like, Sebastian, when you get close to her, because she's terrifying. Anyway, this is Anima, who steals the sanity of victims and turns them into monsters, but I am going to give Ehron a full point for that. Because that's the kill screen for her.
She
grabs you, and essentially, she represents she's not really a presence. She's more of the representation of the STEM system driving someone insane. But you got it. It pulls your soul out and turns you into one of the base monsters, called a couple different things in the different games.
Wow.
So well done. Full point to Ehron. Courtney, I'm going to give you half a point because you did mention something about being pulled into or pulled away from you. So you had it all along the right idea. So well done on that one. Awesome. All right. This friendly fellow.
Excuse you?
Yes, this is a bit of a turn.
That's a person.
So, what's this bitch do?
I mean, to be fair, STEM is like people.
Yeah, this is all. Most of these started as people. Anima, not so much.
Yeah, mine is.
She's more of a system program, if you will. But this friendly face.
His name's Dylan, and he literally stabs a knife directly in your kidney.
Okay, I like
But
it.
never gets it on his clothes. Like, no blood on the clothes.
I feel like there's a reason you're not giving us a full body shot, just like the upper torso.
Oh, no. He is just a dude.
Oh,
he is just a guy. I am sorry. Yeah, I can see how you can see that, but no, this is just the best shot I can find of him. He is a guy. Although, good thought. playing the game. Excellent.
Gotcha. This dude just fucking shoots you in the eyeball, specifically.
Okay.
Name style?
Yeah.
A name for him?
This fucker's name's Adam. Why not?
Alright.
Adam don't
So
have the
here-
swab to be this guy.
Oh,
Here we have Stefano Valentini.
Alright.
He is the artist that created the Guardian that I mentioned earlier,
Fantastic.
along with some other terrifying creatures. He uses his camera to freeze time, trapping his victims eternally in their moment of death, and he can teleport. However, his weapons of choice tend to be stabbing or a gun. So I'm going to give you both a point.
Yay!
Because he tends to stab people, take a picture as he casts off the blood, not on his clothes, which wasn't completely wrong. And so there's these like bloody, frozen in time shots you'll find that basically people eternally in their moment of death. He's an artist.
This is how I
Yeah, so that's pretty good. Point to both of you on that one. Artiste, yeah. All right, I believe this is our last beast that we have to deal with here.
He watching, literally just watching.
Okay.
That or just looking past. Who knows? I really want to believe that he Death Stars this. Just giant laser beam focused into one spot.
Giant laser beam. All right. Name for this one?
I just 2 letters. I-C.
All right. Excellent. Courtney, what do you think? Okay.
Alright, so this eye is connected to everything else, and just a giant ass hand appears out of the ground when he spots you and fucking slaps down on your ass, being like,
Okay.
fuck you.
High five, bro.
Nice.
High five, bro.
High five. All right.
We're gonna name it Behemoth.
Behemoth? Okay. So this is Aperture. I'm gonna give Courtney a point though because it does smack people with giant tentacles.
Fantastic.
It also summons monsters. I believe that was the final one. However, I'm gonna throw in a bonus point here. What is that connected to that has already been in this presentation? If you guys can answer that, I will give you an extra point. So, because why not?
Thinking back to all the things that we've seen.
This is connected to something you have seen throughout this quiz.
I really want to say that it was our freaking our Pixar lamp, but against that judgment, I'm gonna go with the angry mama trying to get her baby back.
Okay, against with Myra and the matriarch. All right,
Yeah.
Courtney.
We're gonna guess the weird guardian head that's just ectoplasm thing.
Okay, the Watcher.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So connected to Myra, the Watcher, and all those, because she also made the Watcher. So this is what's under his hand.
Fantastic.
That is his eye.
Great.
That is actually a giant camera shutter. So yeah, that is what Aperture is. He is the worst. And very fun fact that I actually learned, it represents his eye that he actually lost while being a wartime journalist. Fun fact. You guys did pretty well. I don't remember how many points you got, so I assume Ehron and editing will just pop them on the screen now, because I have no idea.
All I know is that Aaron wins.
I at least had 4.
Ehron definitely got several right. So yeah, good job, both of you. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining us for Knerd Knowledge. We'll see you next time with whatever else we decide to quiz each other on next.
Also, if you have any suggestions for what we should do next time on Nerdy Knowledge, please leave a comment down below. Give us a like. Give us a subscription, maybe. I'm trying to come up with some other joke besides the strange mother who just wants a call from her child. Jackie, joke now, go.
What? Joke about what?
Good job, Jackie.